All right, welcome back to Fleckus Talks, the podcast, episode 006. Today we're going to be talking about new movies and why they suck more than usual, Anthony Fauci and why he sucks more than that. We're going to be talking about Dave Chappelle holding the front line, Alec Baldwin's a Muppet, and I am going to make the case for calling men pussies again.
Again?
Yeah.
I never stopped.
Well, maybe no one should have stopped. We're going to make that case today. I think it'll go pretty well.
I'm waiting to hear it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. This is going to be my favorite episode yet. I can already tell. Thank you guys for watching. Fleckus Talks, the podcast, episode 006, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
This is Fleckus Talks, the podcast, audio only. All right, this week we are going to be doing a video version as well. Everyone on YouTube was mad. Where's Fleckus? Video, need video. Why only audio? Video. Okay.
You got him.
I'm here. Is this what you wanted?
If you're listening on Apple Podcasts and now you know you can see, hop on over to YouTube.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Either way, give us 5 stars. But yeah, you can see us on YouTube now. Audio only people, you're the OGs. You're not missing anything. The show's still for you. We do have a couple 5-star reviews. We actually live and work and survive off of 5-star reviews. It's like our love language. Let's get a couple going.
Yeah, it starts tingling Fleckus' brain in the right spot. So
I love a good 5-star review.
First one, what a nice surprise. These fellas are casual, funny, and charming. This podcast isn't solving life's greatest mysteries, but so what? Keep it up. I'm already a fan.
Kind of a backhanded compliment there.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I think we are solving life's greatest mysteries, but you gave us 5 stars. You gave us 5 stars. You can say whatever you want. 5 stars.
All right, next 5-star review. Perfect blend of humor while expressing conservative views on the political happenings of the day.
5 stars.
That's what we like.
That's what we do. Best new podcast of all time.
Next 5-star review. All it is 2 obese white men talking about bulk order gyro meat. Very disgusting.
Technically, I'm obese.
Still gave us 5 stars.
5 stars. You can say whatever you want to us. All right, that's pretty good. Are there any more?
We should probably cut it off there.
Fleckus. Someone said Fleckus for president. No, obviously not. But yeah, good shit. Thank you guys. Thanks for the 5-star reviews. It keeps us going.
Imagine actually running for president.
No, horrible. No chance. You got to ride in a bus.
You got to ride in a bus in Iowa.
First of all, when someone rides the bus, you sit there? The bus takes you around?
Yeah, I assume you play on your cell phone. You entertain yourself.
No, we don't ride the bus here at Fleckus Talks. Getting a lot of comments. I feel like I keep saying this every week. Like the show is constantly talking about transgender people and gyro meat. Mm-hmm.
We're 6 for 6 on gyro meat, and I think probably transgenders.
And we're about to go 7 for 7. I think next week too. I already got some things prepared for next week. But yeah, I'm getting 200 DMs about how it's not gyro, it's euro, it's hero, it's euro, it's Edo. It's Yido. That's my favorite
That's
one.
a step too far.
That's how the Greeks, if you're a real Greek, it's because of Yido.
Yido. All right.
Not a real Greek.
Enjoy it in Greece.
Yeah, not a real Greek. I'm from Long Island. Long Island, stand up. GYRO. It's gyro. It's done. We don't need to talk about this every week.
A lot of Chicago says gyro too.
Yep. Good.
So
Good.
We stand in solidarity.
Glad we got that out of the way. If you're audio only, you can't really see the transitions. I have a fantastic episode for you guys. And the transitions are just me throwing the papers on the floor as we move on. Moving on, Fauci and dogs had a bad thing. Dr. Fauci take the dog, you tie him up, you hit him with the dick, beat him up, give him to the Japanese man to cook him, eat him, harpoon him.
Yep.
Bad.
They did the old dolphin ceremony.
Yep. Dr. Fauci is doing bad stuff. We found out that he approved and was involved in experiments where beagles had their faces eaten off by sandflies.
Fauci was there. He was in the room. He was the one he got off on the torture. Yeah. No, he funded it.
And then they also cut the vocal cords of the dogs
so they couldn't scream.
They couldn't cry. Jerry, you want to get your face hit by a bug? You can't yell because Dr. Fauci? Jerry don't want to do it.
No.
Don't do it, Jerry.
Good boy.
Don't do it.
But yeah, I mean, how twisted is that? It's like literal torture experiments on dogs. Like, well, isn't that like some old Native American thing? Like you bury the guy and then you put honey on his face and the insects eat him alive?
Yeah.
We're just still doing that with dogs to get like some sort of data.
What's the data?
I can't imagine it's anything good. And imagine it like gets put in like a spreadsheet somewhere and they're like, okay, the data. And then like nobody looks at it again for 40 years. And then some guy's like, oh, I tortured 60 dogs in the 2020s.
For an experiment. For an experiment.
Like you guys better be doing something really good with that.
Yeah.
It better be, but I can't imagine sandflies
I
eating
hope
a
we
dog's
fix
face.
suntan oil. I hope we fix suntan lotion with this. I have a little bit of a conspiracy corner. It's a little bit of a crazy conspiracy corner. All Cs, not Ks, obviously. It's not a dog whistle. But what if, you ready? They have this experiment. Yo, we're going to do an experiment. We're going to have flies eat the face of a dog while it's alive. And obviously, to prevent some yelping, we'll cut the dog's vocal cords. Who wants to get involved in this? Dr. Fauci is like, oh, I'll do it.
Sure.
I'll do it. You know? And he comes around and it's like, okay, if Dr. Fauci approves this, what else is he willing to do? It's a little bit of a conspiracy, but hear me out. If you're willing to do this, what else are you willing to do? Are you willing to test things on AIDS children? Yeah.
Check.
Are you willing to get involved in an experiment that takes the scalps of aborted babies and grafts them onto mice? Check. He's willing to do that.
Got it.
I think instead of it being like, oh yeah, Dr. Fauci funded some stuff, I think this was the way they vetted and found Dr. Fauci the ultimate hitter for them. He's 5'6".
Oh.
So it's like, we have this experiment, and most people are probably like, ooh, I'm not doing that. And he's like, I'll do it. And they're like, okay, this guy's kind of gravitating towards this bad stuff. So they summon some sort of demon.
So Dr. Fauci's kind of like a yes man too, like where he's Jim Carrey just saying, yeah, sure, we'll rip the dogs.
Exactly. Stanford prison experiment. It's all like the same lesson.
Yeah.
The Kitty Genovese murder where no one called when they heard her getting murdered and everyone assumed someone else would call. It's the same thing where it's like he doesn't really respond to red flags. He's willing to do it because authority's telling him to. He's willing to do it on children.
Jeez.
Like
That's our guy.
That's our guy. 2020 comes around. We have the pandemic plan. I don't know if you're even allowed to say that anymore.
Yeah.
And who's your hitter?
Hey, how about that puppy guy?
Exactly. He's a hitter. He's the one who's done it for so long. He's already shown he's compromised. He's willing. Bam. Dr. Fauci will do it. He's perfect for the plan. That's kind of what I think happened, to be honest.
I think you're right there. The Stanford prison experiment thing. It's like we're watching how far Fauci will go and how far the prisoners themselves will still allow it too.
Yeah.
It's like shock him one more time, Fauci.
Exactly. And then also the little things he did in the short term, like the face-eating dog bugs and the grafting of the skin and the AIDS kids, like those are probably summoning some sort of like demons or like feeding one demon that eventually takes him over. So now Dr. Fauci and his torture demon are reigning terror over the whole world. I may have lost you
That's
there.
where that's where I fall off. Fleckus keeps going.
I
But
just keep spiraling, but I'm spiraling up.
yeah.
It's an upward spiral.
Well, I mean, you're definitely more right than wrong.
Yeah.
About Fauci. He's the dog guy.
Yeah.
How do you recover from that too? Well, actually,
And beagles are like a pure Americana dog. That's pure Americana. Beagle, golden retriever,
Yeah.
yellow lab, black lab.
beagle
bandana.
is like you give your kid a beagle because it's like it's small enough. He can
Yeah.
handle it. It's like that's the
A little American hero. And they're the most relaxed dogs too. They are the ones who are the least run arounders.
really
Yeah. I read a thing about how they're I forget what the word is.
big dog attitude and a little
Yeah,
dog
they just
body.
like sleep. If they can sleep, they'll sleep. And that's
for
why
them.
Dr. Fauci's like, we should use them because they'll just lay down while the bugs eat their face. And if anyone cries and whimpers, we'll cut the vocal cords.
Fauci's now in Australian.
Cut the vocal cords.
But yeah, so Fauci, he's their front man. I mean, clearly, like they have that old bit, like or the old Trump joke, like Trump, I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and come out of it fine. It's like that's kind of what Fauci's doing and capable of.
They've made him that person.
Yeah.
Like where he's like this revered guy. The Guardian said he's the sexiest man alive.
Just such a joke.
A random old man, most sexiest man alive. So it's like they raise him up so high. So if you're like an average person, casual scroller, don't fully know what's going on, you see him like sexiest man alive, and it's like when you hear this, I guess you think it's just like, oh, the conservatives are trying to get Dr. Fauci and they're saying crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like you ignore what it is because you've already been told, oh, everyone's going this way, everything's fine. Oh, everyone couldn't be wrong. You're with the crowd. We're all good.
And he's getting off on it too. Like he's gaining this power and he's like, I'm leveling up.
That's
And
the demon part.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm teetering. I'm tentative. But also the Fauci thing, like, didn't he have some pictures of himself, like, in his office? It was just like a giant painting of himself, and then the Fauci prayer candles.
He has a Fauci prayer candle.
So
when would you ever need to use that?
So he's like in the God complex, the front man status. He's leveraging it.
5'6".
He's tiny.
Man.
Yeah, he's a tiny little 1955s basketball player, a little point guard.
Yeah.
Old Converse, dribbling around, and it's like now he's...
Also, Dr. Fauci, Dr. Faustus.
Who is that? Who is Faustus?
I don't know. It was like a book from high school where it was like a haunted guy, Dr. Faustus.
So it's like a loose, frayed brain string out there for you. That you're
Yeah,
just
I
actually
actually don't remember.
just
completely.
a wire that's like clicking out.
It's like Dr. Fauci, Dr. Faustus. Those are two foul words that are doctors. But yeah, hey, something to think about.
Just nibble on that, yeah.
I'm teetering. So yeah, Dr. Fauci, evil guy, kill puppies, no good.
No good. We told you he was no good. We've known he was no good.
It's interesting.
You keep trying to tell us he's good, but
exactly. You keep trying to tell us he's good, but it's like, wouldn't Trump, the evil guy they've made him out to be, wouldn't we like dig up his past and find things like this? Like, oh, he did this thing. He had like this dog fighting thing. And like, you know, it's like, you never do.
Hey,
it's
this guy
the good
donated
guys.
a ice rink to Central Park.
Yeah.
Get him.
Dig more. Let's see what else we find. And it's like this guy, that's where you actually find the stuff. So it's interesting. Moving on, before we go any further, we have to keep the lights on. Obviously, this episode is brought to you by ShopFlockus.com, the best merch in the game. Guys, we have a tremendous amount of things that you can give loved ones this holiday season as gifts. You have a loved one you want to give a Trader Joe's shirt to, someone in your family who thinks Joe is a traitor and a Muppet. Come on. Look at this Trader Joe's shirt. You use code Jerry, it's less than $20. You give the gift, they get the gift, they go, oh my gosh, this is so funny. I would have never have thought to buy this myself. I can't wait to show my friends. And it's all for under $20.
Under 20.
Under $20. You can go to Tiffany's, get the light blue box, and they'll open it and go, oh my gosh, I went to Tiffany's, and they're happy before they even see what it is. Or you go to ShopFlockus.com, buy a couple t-shirts, spend $36, get 2 shirts.
Whoa.
And be a hero. So the choice is yours. But yeah, they're under $20. You're basically robbing me. I have no money left. I need help. I'm desperate. I'm pathetic. Please buy a shirt. I have nothing.
Just buy a shirt from the guy.
Yeah, so everything's fine.
So financials are great.
Oh, just kidding. All right, cool. Moving on. So Richard Ratboy and I have been watching some background movies, but we're doing it for work purposes. Like for the podcast, we have like a whole movie section.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the part of the show where we're going to talk about how the entertainment industry obviously was going in a horrible direction. Obviously, it's so bad. It actually got even worse. Halloween, a movie, so a lot of the movies that are coming out are remakes of old movies that have built-in audiences. For example, Halloween, it's like a bunch of people will go see that every time a new Halloween drops. Same with The Sopranos.
Yep.
Huge built-in audience, multiple seasons. Oh my gosh, a movie. Can't wait to see it.
A movie 15 years later.
Exactly.
Or whatever it is.
So Halloween comes out. Jamie Lee Curtis is only in it for 3 scenes. Number one. So they bait and switch you there. Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis is in. And
I'm sure she's all over the preview.
Exactly. She's back. We're doing it again. And then afterwards, the reviews, one of the big takeaways was Michael Myers, the murderer, living dead guy, cursed soul, some sort
The
of
monster maniac slasher.
Yeah, is homophobic because he killed a gay couple in the show.
Shouldn't he kill everyone? Shouldn't his goal be total wipeout?
Wouldn't that be not being homophobic because he doesn't treat them any differently than anyone else?
Where were you when this article was being written?
Yeah. So you can't kill the gay guys anymore. So now if you watch a horror movie, at the end, it's going to be the gay people, the person in the wheelchair, the DACA kids.
The bit used to be that horror movie, the black guy dies first, no matter what. And
Times have changed.
So now it's kind of reversing, and it's like, so if you see a group of 5 people, it's like gay guy, white guy, black guy, some other token, and
illegal immigrant,
DACA kid.
And then illegal immigrant saves the day, saves everybody. The white guy will probably run full speed ahead and get his head chopped off immediately and try to fight with fists. Then they'll be like irrational. And then the woman of color will be like, I'm never heard, but I think this idea will work. And then the DACA kid will listen. The DACA kid saves everyone. And then the end of the story is going to be like, he just wanted to come to America for a better life. And everyone wanted to kick him out and wanted to get get him out because he was an immigrant and he saved everyone. He had the best moral character of anyone.
And you walk out of the theater like, I thought I was watching Halloween. I just got a
I
lesson.
thought this was a slasher movie. So now it's going to be all gay guys left, I guess. And you're going to be in the end of the movie. You're going to be gutted, knifed by Michael Myers. You're going to be bleeding out. You're like, dude, give me the napkin. Give me your napkin. And he's going to go, it's an ascot. This is an ascot. It's not a napkin. I'm not wearing a napkin around my neck. Oh, man. But yeah, we saw that in Halloween. You can't kill gay guys.
So we didn't watch Halloween, though.
Yeah, I saw a little bit
You
of it.
did? You
I
watched
watched a little bit of it.
Okay.
I saw some previews and I saw some scenes online.
Okay.
I saw enough to know what's going on. And
sure.
the article, Can't Kill Gay Guys. And then we watched Sopranos, the movie.
The Many Saints of Newark.
Sopranos audience is so engaged. It's a cult following. It's one of the greatest shows of all time. So when you say, hey, Sopranos.
The show like got better with age. Like it stands up.
Exactly.
It's like a pivotal show in American history.
So when you say, hey, Sopranos fans, are you excited? Guess what? We have a Sopranos movie coming. Everyone's expecting the good stuff.
Everyone's getting
They're
ready
excited.
to go to the theater. You're signing up for HBO Max. It's like, this is it. This is the Super Bowl. I love The Sopranos.
But what ended up happening was, I know you wanted a Tony Soprano origin story, but I actually used the opportunity to shed some light on a story that actually needs to be told more than that one in that regard.
No disrespect to Tony, but in that regard, we had to shine some light on this issue.
On some issue that isn't getting enough attention.
So it was basically all about the race riots in
Yeah.
Newark in 1967.
Exactly. Who knew Tony Soprano origin story was so deeply intertwined with the Newark riots in the 60s?
And the African-American struggle in the United States.
And the whole movie was about black people and like the black struggle and the oppressive white people and the racism, every single aspect. And they completely just hijacked an audience, pretended they were going to give them what they wanted.
They really
The
pretended
trailers,
too.
it's like all the callbacks. It's the same people, but like younger. It seems so cool. Gabagool.
Yeah. Oh, hey, who's going to help me carry this gabagool? Like,
So they give you a couple of your lines that you know you're looking for, and it kind of like, oh yeah, they're doing the remake. This is the origin story. And then it just gets slowly hijacked, and bam, next thing you know.
yeah. As long as a few of the clapping seal audience members go, oh, he said the line, he said the phrase, then it's like, all right, we got him hooked. We can tell him whatever we want now. We can
Yep.
make this about completely not The Sopranos. And
Which is exactly what they did. And now the Sopranos, I mean, they botched it.
dude, it's basically becoming a rule. Like you don't come back for the 10 years later money grab movie. It's over. And it's probably woke. It's over. And they're going to say a couple of the good lines that you liked and hope that you enjoy paying $30 for it.
Yeah. And that's what they do. And they take and they destroy. And it's destruction of culture. It's saying, oh, instead of saying, I want to make a Black Power movie about the Newark riots and go put it out there and do a great job, instead you take down the Sopranos.
Yeah, let's just shoehorn this right into the Tony Soprano coming of age.
And exactly. So it's like the
job.
Sopranos, it's like instead of making a movie and it's not going to be as popular as the Sopranos, you're going to take a show that's as popular as the Sopranos and make it less good and try to take it down. I don't think it can because the series stands alone, but
Yeah, it's
the
too
movie
good.
was nothing.
For someone like me, I just count it as like a extra nothing. It has nothing. It didn't change anything. It has no basis in the reality of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
And it's for the clapping seal audience who just want to say the line. He doesn't have the makings of a varsity athlete.
There it is.
So.
You heard it.
Great. You waited 10 years for that.
And while you weren't looking and you were entertained, they ruined the Sopranos. Other entertainment as well. Over the weekend, Zach and I were background watching What Would You Do with John Quinones, where basically it's a show where they put like these actors in scenarios out in public and see what like people passing by would do. So they'll have like a pregnant lady and she has a cigarette.
Hey,
She's
you
like,
got a light?
You got a light? Exactly. Or it's like someone who's like drunk getting in their car and seeing if you'll stop the person from drunk driving.
That's actually a good one.
Yeah, and it used to be the scenarios used to be like just, and they were going to see like almost calling out the weak men.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're gonna light this lady's cigarette, and she's clearly like 9 months pregnant. What are you doing? What would you do?
Yeah.
But now, like everything else, it got diverted and became like a race thing, like a race show.
And it used to be very high stakes, like a guy just roofing someone at a bar. And it's
Exactly.
like, now what's this guy doing? What's the table next to him going to do now? They saw the roofie go down. We got cameras everywhere. And now they're just...
And now it got hijacked, and it's all about race and racism. And they had one the other day where there was a lady who was the civilian, didn't know what's going on. She's in the hair salon, and she's in the chair. And there's a black girl with her boyfriend there. They're actors. And then there's the hair salon lady doing the civilian's hair. And she's an actress too. And the hair salon lady immediately starts going, like, you have to get out of here. You're the only black woman here. Like, this is a white
on-site racism.
On-site, like, worst racism, like, probably ever. Like, a completely, like, contrived situation. And she's going on and on, like, why are you dating a white guy? You're black. Like, you should get out of here. And then, like, the lady in the chair who's a civilian is obviously horrified. And she's just like, you can't, and she starts crying. She's like, you can't say that. What are you, you're horrible. What are you doing? I can't believe what I'm hearing. And then John Quinones comes out.
Hello.
As if it's like a good thing. Like, oh yeah, you did the right thing. You stood up for it. And the lady is just like completely horrified. And it's like the same emotional roller coaster that the mainstream media takes you on, like CNN, for example, where you hear a story like Jussie Smollett and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm looking at this in live time. This is what happened. This looks so bad. How can anyone do this to somebody? And you feel so sad and you're emotionally like all ground up and twisted up from it, and it hurts. And then you find out later that the details come out. In the Jussie case, for example, it wasn't what he said. It was completely made up. But the emotional damage that happened already is already done. And that's kind of like how the media operates. It's like the fake story gets thousands of retweets and the retraction gets 10. So it's like that's kind of what we're seeing here. And when you see a show like What Would You Do with John Quinones, it's almost like showing you behind the curtain of how the media works. It's like, yeah, there's a contrived situation.
We rile them up to the max.
The lady's crying. She's a good person herself. She believes people are good. And then she does the right thing, whatever. It makes you feel good. But in this situation, she was talking to John Quinones after, and she was like, yeah, I had to say something. Like, it's so wrong. Like, there's so much ignorance, and there's ignorance everywhere. There's so much ignorance in the world today.
Yeah, so much racism and bigotry happening everywhere. So I had to step up.
Yeah, I had to step up. And it's like, is there?
That's the first time you've seen anything.
That's the first time you've seen anything like that. And if you go each instance of like what racism and hate is, like Jussie Smollett, Bubba Watson, George Floyd, there's so many more details that have come out since then that have basically disproven the idea. It was racism or it was an act of hate, a hate crime, all this stuff. So it's like there's ignorance everywhere is the theme. And that's all it is just you get emotionally riled up. And then it adds over time, no matter what the details are after. And then when you look at it from a wide perspective, you're like, oh, 2016 through 2021, I got emotionally riled up like a ton of times because of like racist stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, did you? Or did you want to write them down and go through each one and realize that it's not?
They don't want to examine them. They just want to sum of the parts, and then racism is institutional.
So like, what would you do? And like that setup is basically how the sausage is made at CNN. It's like we have a situation.
We rile them up. We juice it.
We juice them. And then after by the time they figure it out, we should lose credibility, but people just kind of are addicted to us. They keep coming back.
Yeah.
They love it.
Their channel was already on it. They turned on the TV and they might as well watch again.
Exactly. Nope. Transitioning to the next thing. If you're in audio only, you're not missing anything. Dave Chappelle holding the line. Keeping it 100.
Love to see it.
Will not back down. He has his terms. If he wants to, those transgender people at Netflix want to talk to him, he has 3 terms. They have to watch his special all the way through. They have to meet him where and when he wants. And then they have to admit Hannah Gadsby is not funny.
Which is the best time to insert a bit.
Hannah Gadsby is like an Australian lesbian who just like completely every show she does is like a left-wing rally. It's like a Hillary Clinton thing.
No, she's like a comedian who got a Netflix special, and then she dresses like a man. She's obviously a total feminist, least funny person on earth, and the entire stand-up routine is just like a lecture, basically. And it's one of those things where, like on Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score is 100%, but the audience score is like 25%. So it's just like that fake world disconnect where they're trying to pump her up.
Hannah Gadsby, that's peak content. Right below that, Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind, Titanic.
Yeah, Schindler's List, Hannah Gadsby, Titanic. Dude, and that's the thing is like, it's the same thing with Fauci and The Guardian. It's like, that's just a person who got made. That's like a made man who gets elevated. And it's like, all right, Hannah Gadsby, Did everyone get the memo? We're saying this is good. No matter what, we're saying this is good. And so same thing with Fauci being the sexiest man alive.
Yeah, we're going to lead block with this mentally ill Hannah Gadsby. No one's allowed to make fun of her. And we're going to kind of just sneak in our boy, Dr. Fauci. And we're going to just kind of like plow through the crowd, get to the front. No one's allowed to attack us. Bad guy satanic pedophiles are in charge now. That's how they sneak in. That's how they snuck in. They create a victim class. And then they run right behind him. Dave Chappelle also said in a tweet, I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, how could you not? You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. It seems like I'm the only one who can't go to the office. Deep.
I mean, he's 100% right.
Yeah.
You think the mob is, the oppressed now? Is the mob acting as the oppressed?
I used to, in my videos, I would ask kids who were conservative on college campuses, I think it was like USC or UCLA. And I would ask, like, if you were to go into class wearing a dress, would you be safer or less safe than someone who's going to class, walking around campus wearing a MAGA hat? And every single time they're like, dude, trans people are safer than MAGA people for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, do the Dave Chappelle route, right? Like Twitter's a fake place. Outrage isn't real. Someone might throw a smoothie at you, but they are probably on antidepressants and like a weird person. So, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it too much. He's in this fight between Netflix, this megacorp, the minority of the trans activists and adjacent people at megacorp. And he's just like, I'm just a guy who's like saying what I want.
Yeah.
Is that allowed or not?
Not allowed to do that anymore.
So we love to see him holding the line and trolling while doing it. Hannah Gadsby's a joke. If you enjoyed her special, please unfollow this podcast.
Yeah, it's impossible to enjoy her special. Everyone knows that. Dave Chappelle, keep holding it down. Keep keeping it 100. Even Seth Dillon, the CEO of Babylon B, very funny guy. He said, if you have both the will and power to punish anyone who makes a joke at your expense, then you are not the oppressed, you are the oppressor. Absolutely. The trans people are trying to oppress me. I am not impressed, and I am not oppressed. I am unpinnable. Every day I wake up and I make a decision. Am I going to be more or less pinnable after today? And every day I wake up and I agree to be more unpinnable than I was the day before.
To be even less pinnable. The percent chance is so low that he can be pinned.
So that's what I'm doing. Are you guys doing the same thing? You better be. And if you're not, we're going to get to why you should in the next segment. Earlier this week, Madison Cawthorn, some other person, I think running for Congress or Senate or something in New Hampshire, I think, and then Alex Brusewitz were all at Dartmouth together. And there were so many protesters there, and then they were in the building giving like a presentation, and they had like heckler types. It was so embarrassing. Richard Rapway and I both went to Dartmouth.
Yep.
And it's sad to see the school means so like you get so little out of it, and it's also the most expensive it's ever been. So they just suck the soul out of higher education, Ivy League education. There's no education.
Yeah. And it was like teetering on it when we were there.
Yeah.
But obviously everything's gone off a mountain slide,
Yeah.
It's insane. So these kids are like waiting for their chance. This is like their moment. They're like, I'm a good little leftist protester. Madison Cawthorn's here, the freshman congressman.
He's fascist. He's fascist.
I've been training against fascism for the last 5 years.
You have to
Here's one.
You have to go against fascism with violence because fascism is like a line crossed.
Yeah, fascism is like, that's it.
That's like these people are escalating. And this is where I was saying in the beginning, we're going to make a case for calling people pussies again.
All right,
It's a tough case, but look at this kid right here calling out Madison Cawthorn.
I just had a quick question for you, Congressman Cawthorn. A majority of Republicans believe that President Biden was not lawfully elected. Now, you know that he was, and that he won the 2020 election. So when will you stop lying to your constituents, admit that Donald Trump lost, and end this senseless attack on our democracy?
Well, number one, I completely wholeheartedly disagree with you. I believe the election.
On the facts, you disagree with me?
On what was that?
On the facts that President Biden was lawfully elected?
Absolutely. Well, let me go into it right quick. There is an unconstitutional election.
Love to hear you propagate the big lies.
Would you like to explain?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, so as you can all see in Article 2, Section 3 of the Constitution, the only people who have a right to change election law in the United States of America are the state legislatures. You saw in 6 key states, namely Wisconsin and Arizona, as the worst perpetrators. The state, the state governors and the board of elections there, who actually went around the will of the state legislature and changed election laws on their own. That is unconstitutional. When you have voter drop boxes that are set up in parks, when you can get rid of signature verification and voter identification laws, that is against the law. It's an unconstitutional thing. Are you against the Constitution?
Are you against, when you incited the January 6th insurrection, were you against the Constitution? When you incited the January 6th insurrection, were you against the Constitution?
Adam, please sit down.
Or were you for it?
Buddy, you got a mask on. You're saying things that are violently inaccurate, and you're trying to escalate. It's like you're out. You're a pussy. We don't listen to you.
You're trying to gotcha someone without any data, without the
While being
correct
wrong.
data. Yeah.
And you're wearing a mask. So it's like you're showing how you do with data collection elsewhere in your life, and you're wearing a mask. It's over. You're a pussy.
You're a
You're a pussy. But I'm not allowed to call him that. It's actually ironic because I have to censor it, even in here, because the mischievous spirit that exists within men has been removed from society. If we were a few years ago, 20 years ago, and we see these like kids at the protests going against Madison Cawthorn saying he's violent, maybe you go throw a snowball at them.
Yeah, you troll them a little bit. You
troll them. You yell out the
whatever you
window. You throw something. You throw a snowball. Whatever. Now you throw a snowball, it's a hate crime because there's a guy in there who thinks he's a girl, and there's like a DACA kid here and a Native American, and it was like an attack on it, and they have all these things that you can't attack them for. So it's like
They'll gather whatever supporting evidence they can after the fact to make it as bad as it sounds.
yeah, to make you out to be a hate crime guy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you can be like the kid who's just like trying to set up a Turning Point booth, and some kid can come over, flip the table, rip your shit.
Yeah.
And like, clean. That's clean.
No worries.
All good here.
Standing against fascism. Remember in Animal House? Animal House is actually based on Dartmouth. Remember in Animal House, there was the guy on the stairwell playing the guitar. I gave my love a cherry without a stem. And then Belushi comes over and he's kind of like messed up.
He's
he takes
drunk.
the thing and just wrecks it. And he gives the guitar handle back to the guy. Like that guy goes home and he either builds the guitar back from scratch and doesn't let it defeat him, and he's actually a good guitarist. He becomes Willie Nelson or something.
Jimi Hendrix. Yeah.
Exactly.
Whoever.
Or he's like, maybe that guitar stuff isn't very cool and I'm just trying to get girls. Maybe there's a different angle where I'm more accepted and more cool and everyone likes me. So it's like for these kids, it's like if I can't call this kid a pussy and other people can maybe chime in too. Yeah, dude, you suck. Yeah, you're not tough.
That was
like, you're wrong.
Stupid.
And instead, that person's protected. You can't call anyone a pussy because mischievous male spirit has been removed. You can't say that to somebody. And not only that, that kid is actually in charge of our opposition. And he's being promoted to the front and told that I'm the problem. I'm a domestic terrorist. The opposition is fascism and we need to meet fascism with violence or whatever. So it's like, not only are you wrong and a bitch boy, you're not allowed to be attacked or else I get in trouble, and you're being promoted. You're a bitch boy and you're escalating and calling for like the next step.
Yeah. If this is fascism, you better put on some camouflage. You better get going, right? Like, isn't it wartime if someone's a fascist and actively trying to oppress you? Like,
So exactly. But this all could have been weeded
but
out.
you just want to yell at at a guy in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
At who's speaking on campus.
Who's like
instead.
an elected Republican official. It's not even like it's some sketchy character or like Richard Spencer. It's just Madison Cawthorn.
Dude, fascism is rapidly coming across America. What do I do? Heckle him.
Yeah.
What?
So, and a lot of these kids, it's like they don't have anything going for them necessarily where their identity is their ideas. It's like, oh, like, you know, this kid in the mask, what do you stand for? Oh, I stand against Trump. I stand against hate, against racism, homophobia. I stand against fascism. And it's like, those aren't things that you're for or doing.
Love, compassion, and the lowest common denominator is
like-
what all these people are.
Those are just nothings, and you're just like tearing things down. And it's the same thing we see in every industry and everything. It's never about promoting a new winning idea. It's about taking down existing success because it only exists because of a flawed system, the patriarchy, racism, or, you know, everything's deeply rooted in something horrible. But you're just going to destroy it. So it's like, if I could call this kid a pussy and be like, dude, you're a pussy, you suck. Like, January 6th wasn't what you say it is. Joe Biden didn't get 81 million votes. You shouldn't be wearing a mask. If I were to say something like that, like, I can't. But if I were able to, that kid might think about it a little bit, actually hear my idea, and then judge based on that, instead of being protected and promoted and then told that I'm the violent person that he has to go face. It's like, good luck, buddy.
Well, so there's also another angle to this where it's like, that guy, you know, was probably trying to impress a girl, you know, at the end of the day. And then now the world is so jumbled that it's like, I better confront this fascist to impress the girl, instead of like doing something noble, like catching the pass, or, you know,
Running for Congress
benching
or Senate and being elected.
Yeah,
Exactly.
doing a genuinely masculine thing. Instead, you'll just heckle and be a virtue signaler like always.
Those kids are the absolute worst. And I just wish there was a way to...
Bullying as a tool.
Yeah, it's like good bullying.
I'm a firm believer in good bullying.
You know?
Yeah.
It does something. When you keep people separate and don't let anyone say anything, it actually escalates things worse.
Mm-hmm.
If I could just call a couple people pussies...
Blow off that valve, let that steam off.
And then, and if they are, they'll have to, they'll either realize it and make a change, or they won't, but there'll be less pussies because of it. When I was growing up, the first half of my little league, football, baseball, whatever, there was coaches that called people pussies. You were allowed to.
That's hilarious.
And
I never had that.
And then it stopped, and they had to stop. And so I got a taste of both worlds, the before and the after. And I'm telling you, things go a long way. It's toxic masculinity when men are actually weak and these people with bad ideas are put in charge and they're not allowed to be challenged. That's actually toxic masculinity. These guys in masks going after Madison Cawthorn, trying to do gotcha questions, that's toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity because it's not real masculinity.
Exactly.
It's just fake.
It's fake. And then that's why it's promoted by the left as well, because they have like a unattackable class of people, multiple unattackable classes of people. And that's just kind of who they lead block with. Push all their ideas forward. As we see it in every single thing.
It's their good hustle.
Good hustle.
If you're so in touch with the people of Western North Carolina, why won't you hold an in-person in-district town hall?
We'll ask you guys to kindly hold your questions for the end.
I'm pretty sure I do town halls like every day.
He's there very frequently.
I'm pretty sure everyone hates you in our district. Yeah, Western North Carolina.
How many votes did he win by?
Barely?
Barely? He's in an R+1 seat, and he won by tens of thousands of votes. Is that barely winning?
Kind of.
So you're a smart guy. Do some math, and then come back to us.
So my last question.
It's funny because like I call the kid a but I can't actually say it on YouTube. So it's like ironic. It's like the same male mischievous thing removed from YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm living directly in it.
Mm-hmm. But in real life, once again, real life is not YouTube. Real life is not Twitter, as Dave Chappelle knows. Real life, we're bringing it back.
Can you go to that on college campus and go up to someone and say something, like insult them, or do you get kicked out for that?
Dude, I don't know. It's like there's freedom of speech. You can still say you're a pussy, right? To someone.
I bet you don't. And then the college will like pride themselves on how much they investigate it.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, we're going to use all of our resources to make sure we find out the hateful people, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, dude.
You'll probably go to like some student tribunal where there's like 3 judges and 2 of them have purple hair. And you're just like, okay.
And they just give you the thumbs down.
I just pack it up.
You don't live. Oh, man. So, yeah. I wish we could smash the guitars. Those days are long gone. The Belushi days. We need those back.
Let's bring them back, yeah.
All right, a little Fleckus tip. We're going to leave you guys with this. If you're ever at a sporting event and a valuable piece of memorabilia is either handed to you or lands in the stands and you catch it. Mm-hmm. For example, over the weekend, Tom Brady threw his 600th touchdown pass, which is like the most of anyone ever, 600 touchdowns.
I think that's the most all time.
And then the football player he threw it to,
Mike Evans,
caught and just caught the ball, touchdown, threw it to a kid in the stands. And then a representative from the Bucs went over to the person in the stands and like made a deal with him. And originally the deal was like another ball, a couple jerseys.
He's like,
signed,
please, Tom wants it back.
$1,000 of merch, and then like season tickets, which aren't even that much money, like for this season and next season, like a horrible side deal.
No, it started even worse than that. It started with like a couple helmets and a signed jersey, buddy.
And then everyone kind of realized like this ball's worth like what?
People were saying on Twitter like 500 grand minimum, possibly 750 grand. I mean, it's Tom Brady, the biggest Hall of Famer ever on the record that nobody else has.
Unreal. So everyone kind of got mad. Everyone kind of like backed the kid up online, and then Tom Brady's like, all right, we'll give you a Bitcoin too, which is not a bad deal. Here's the tip. If you're ever in a situation where you have the ball, you have to leave the stadium.
Yeah.
You have to give your info to the people who asked for it.
Give them your name and number.
But you're on the John Wick clock now, where everyone wants you dead. And then keep in mind,
contract.
People are going to start quickly realizing, oh, that ball, that's the one, that's the 600th ball. And then you're going to have like a target on your back at the stadium. So all you got to do is give them your info and get home quick. Yeah. Hey, I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to call my mom, take a picture. Boom, you're out.
Then you start ignoring calls. The offer goes up. You start getting crazy. Act like a terrorist. You're like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this ball.
Exactly. Wow.
But so basically, don't miss out on a $750K payday to be nice to Tom Brady, who's already a multi-millionaire.
Exactly. There's no being nice.
There's no lessons here.
Who knows how many years Tom Brady can go as well. He's got like the witch sorcery behind him.
He's got
spells.
He's got a lot
doing
going
spells.
for him.
I promise you he's doing spells.
Seances, crystals, what type of spells? What are you thinking here?
Stuff like that. But he's being rewarded for it. And Tampa Bay is thriving for it.
It's working, yeah.
So don't lose the ball if they throw it to you. Make a deal once you get home. Get home.
Then ignore the calls.
Yeah. Speaking of ignored calls, last thing. There was an article about some kid who got lost in the woods on like a hiking trail.
You want me to read the headline? Or?
Yeah.
Lost hiker ignores rescuer's calls because of unknown number.
That's exactly what happened to me.
So that's it.
I would be walking and I'd be like, oh, I'm lost. And my phone, I'm like, people are calling me now. I would just be so mad. And that's kind of how I would go.
What is a rescuer?
Ignoring calls till the end.
How do you get lost in an area that you have service?
That's a good question. Can't you just zoom out on the map?
That's what I'm saying.
Alec Baldwin, we're not going to really talk about this too much. Everyone kind of knows what's going on. Bad situation for him over there. Mm-hmm. You kill someone by accident. And why? Because the girl who is in charge of the guns is some sort of like purple hair lesbian type.
That when I saw that picture, I go, uh-oh.
Yeah, and that's who's in charge of the guns. Nicolas Cage actually walked off a set she was on because there was an accidental discharge, and he was just very not happy about that. And they had issues with this set multiple times because of COVID, and she wasn't even allowed to be on set, so she left 3 guns, I think.
Yeah, here it says, because of COVID-19 safety protocols, Gutierrez Reed set up 3 prop guns on a cart left outside Bonanza Creek Ranch's church set. So it's just like, hey guys, COVID's too dangerous. Here's 3 guns, may or may not be loaded. Good luck.
I have some bullets for my fanny pack.
Yeah, and they apparently were doing like target practice outside or something.
Like shooting
cans.
Yeah. So
now a person's dead and Alec Baldwin is...
That's what happens when you don't take guns seriously. Yeah, you don't want to be messing around, playing with guns, loading it, dry firing it, spinning it around your finger, using it as paperweight in your desk. Do not want to be messing around with guns.
You know anybody who does that?
Nope, but no one should. Learn your lesson from Alec Baldwin.
My favorite part of the Alec Baldwin thing is just like, bro, Alec, you hate half of America. You've been a piece of shit for years now, all the way from 2015 when you started playing Trump on SNL. You constantly mock and goad us, and now people are like, dude, take the high road. It's a tragedy. It's like, no. Alec Baldwin sucks, and we're going to mock him. Like, what do you expect? This guy has instigated with our side for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, eat it, Alec. I'm sorry.
He's a shitty bad guy, and...
You think he's got a heart of gold, and, like, that's why he makes fun of Trump? He's like, no, that's the right thing to do. He's a nut.
He's a nut bad guy, and this is what happens to people like that. They attract bad things into their life, and, yeah... That's what happens. I'll never accidentally shoot somebody because I'll never have the gun pointed at somebody while I'm pulling the trigger. When would you ever shoot somebody?
Did you see the Will Smith thing? There was like a clip of Will Smith getting shown guns on a movie set. Basically, some guy almost flagged him with the gun, and Will Smith basically slapped it and goes, boom, checks the slide, checks the mag, makes sure it's unloaded, and then hands it back to the guy. And it's like, there are people in this world who take it super seriously, and Alec Baldwin and associates are just like, all right, turn in the guns when you're done.
The people who want no guns are the ones who treat them the most carelessly. And the people who know how to work guns are the ones that don't really have incidents like this.
Interesting dynamic.
Yeah. Interesting how that played out. Also, there's a Brian Laundrie update. What do we got, Brian Laundrie update-wise?
So Brian Laundrie, his body was found. And his body was found in the original park that basically was right near his house. And he just probably walked there or something, kind of gathered some supplies. So he's dead. I'm a little disappointed by that. I kind of thought we were going to slow burn, like have him on the run. And then 4 years later, after it's left everyone's consciousness and everyone's forgotten, then we were going to get a nice little satisfaction. Like he's got a new family or, this. We didn't. He's just a pile of bones in the swamp. Fleckus thinks it was bitten by alligators.
Yes. I would like odds on alligator death and alligator consumption.
So alligator death, I think, is like 500 to 1. I don't think an alligator chomped him down and killed him. Alligator nibbling on his bones, nibbling on his little corpse, 25 to 1. We'll get you some action there. All right. But I was looking around like TikTok and like TMZ and like the weird kind of angles who obsess over Brian Laundrie. And I found an interesting fact. The neighbors of Brian Laundrie, the across the street neighbors, because obviously the news, it's been a, O.J. Simpson level case. And the news people needed somewhere to stay. Like they can't stay in the street. The laundries obviously don't want them on their house. They've been renting the across the street neighbor's front yard for $3,500 a week. So that guy got a little bit of payday.
You might as well. The media's there. Who are you offending? To wrap, there's a consistent theme we're seeing in everything. The Chappelle situation, the new movies, Alec Baldwin, the Netflix people, no offense.
Yeah.
It's weak men is the problem.
Weak men allowing things to be torn down and perverted.
Exactly. And either not participating or directly participating. But at the core of all these issues is weak men. And you might be thinking, well, how can I solve these problems of weak men? That's such a huge thing. You zoom out wide and you're like, how can I make a change and fix it? Leave that to us. We'll handle that in the podcast. That's what this is. All you need to worry about is keeping it 100 in your own life, doing the right thing, being a strong man, making sure the people around you are strong men too. And you do that in your own world and it will ripple and it will be the solution. It'll be the change that needs to happen. I saw a meme the other day that I thought was very good. It said, saving one friend will not change the world, but surely for that one friend, the world will change forever. That's kind of what needs to happen. Everyone just got to be tough, be strong, be correct, keep it 100, leave 5 stars.
Yeah, so back to that 5-star review. This podcast isn't solving life's greatest mysteries.
Yeah.
Now what?
We did.
Now what? You ready to retract?
Call weak men pussies. Make you solve a lot of problems that way.
That's the assignment.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Another Fleckus Talks in the books. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. 5-star review. ShopFleckus.com for the best merch in the game. Holidays are coming. Less than $20. You get a cool t-shirt. Use code Jerry. We appreciate you watching. We'll see you at the next one.